Hi amateur chefs, welcome or welcome back to my channel Amateurish. Today we're going to be making stuffed salmon with the side of mashed potatoes and green beans. If you haven't already, please be sure to like and subscribe to my channel. Let's get started. All right, guys, so we are going to start with the salmon and we are going to lightly season it with the Lari seasoning salt. All the ingredients are going to be in the description box below. Now we are going to add some black pepper to this. Now we are lightly seasoning the fish because we are going to add seasoned crab cake on this and some cheese, which is going to add to the salt. So we light-handedly also added some complete seasoning to this. And next up, I'm adding my green seasoning. I'll put an iCard if you want to know how to make that. It's not necessary. If you have some garlic and onion powder, just add that in this step. And then next up, we're going to grab the already seasoned crab cakes. I got these from Whole Foods, and I'm just adding a little bit of lime juice to it. And that was only about half a lime. And then next up, we are going to add some cream cheese. Now, you do want to leave the cream cheese out a little bit because as you can see, I was struggling to get it fully incorporated. So leave it out so the cream cheese can soften just a little bit, and then you'll mix it around. All right, so now I'm going to add some cilantro to this. Now, if you guys are thinking about what this is seasoned with, I bought it already seasoned, so just add some complete seasoning. Everything that you added on to the fish, I would add into your crab cakes if you don't buy the already pre-seasoned meat. As you can see, I even decided to add a little bit more Lari seasoning to this and a little bit more black pepper. So feel free to season it how you would season your crab cakes normally. And then what you're just gonna do is go ahead and add the crab cake mixture onto the salmon like this. And technically this isn't really a stuffed salmon because I'm honestly just laying one piece of salmon on top of the other because ain't nobody got time to try to figure out how to stuff a salmon, but it works out completely fine. So now we're gonna cook the first layer on the cast iron skillet first. So you wanna get it piping hot, and then you're just gonna lay it down as such. And then we're gonna leave this on for about, I wanna say 5 to 10 minutes, just letting it cook. I do end up covering it a little bit just so that the steam can take the middle of the fish so that it can cook. And then fish is similar to steak in the sense of like, you don't want to overcook it. I don't like a well done salmon. I like it more like a medium well. So we aren't going to let this cook too long. So as you can see, I'm covering it so the steam can help cook it, but you want to monitor it every step of the way so it does not burn. One part that I did not record is that you do want to flip it eventually on the side that has the crab cake. Be careful because it did get a little bit messy, which is why I missed the recording. And then you'll flip it back over to add the other layer. You can also add cheese to that layer before adding this top layer if you want it to be super cheesy. I did not do that just for my own sodium purposes, but if you want to add cheese to that layer, go ahead and do that. And then what I'm just doing is adding the remainder of the crab cake mix and that other piece of salmon to the top. And then we are going to let this cook in the oven on broil for about 10 minutes. I don't like an overcooked salmon, so I did check it throughout, but you have to kind of determine on how long you want to let it cook. So before, of course, putting it in the oven, I did grate the mozzarella cheese. You can use whatever cheese you want. I chose to go with mozzarella because that's one of my favorite cheeses. So this is what it's gonna look like right before it goes into the oven. Again, you wanna put it on broil for 10 minutes. Okay, so the potatoes were boiling in another pot on the side while I was making the salmon. So I'm just gonna add some heavy cream to this. You can use regular milk. I just don't drink milk, so I usually don't have it in my kitchen. And then you're gonna mash it together until the milk and the potatoes are fully incorporated. Then you're going to add some butter into this. You can add as little or as much butter as you want to the dish. Again, it's going to be based off of your diet. I really just eyeballed this recipe for the mashed potatoes, but they came out great. So I encourage you to follow these steps. Next up, we're gonna add some salt. It may look like I'm adding a lot of salt, but trust me, it wasn't that much. And then I'm adding some minced garlic to it. You can use regular garlic if that's what you have. And then I'm going to use some Parmesan cheese. I did go ham with the Parmesan cheese, so I added some more to it. I love this style of mashed potatoes. It was kind of a cheat day for me, so I went all out for it. And then just some sour cream. I think sour cream adds a little bit more of an umph to it, and I mixed it around until everything was nicely incorporated. And then I'm gonna add it to a baking pan and bake it for about 5 minutes in the oven with the salmon. So again, this is very simple, and then you'll just pair it with the salmon. Okay, so this is the final product. This is what the salmon look like, guys. One thing I have to note that my timing was based off of how thick or how thin my salmon is. So your salmon may need to cook a little bit longer or a little bit less depending on how big it is. So you guys will have to determine that. But this was the final product of how the salmon came out on its own. And guys, it looked really, really good. I just added some parsley for garnish. And then this is gonna be 2 servings. So I'm just splitting it, and I'm gonna show you guys a little bit of what that medium well looks like. As you guys can see, it's still falling apart, and it tastes amazing. It was completely worth it. Guys, here is the final product with the mashed potatoes on the side. And I just added some green beans that were really easy to make. Just some salt, garlic, onions, powder thrown on there, some butter, and called it a day with the green beans. So nothing special. But guys, this is the final product. I want to thank you guys so much for watching Amateurish. If you haven't already, please thumbs up this video and make sure you subscribe to my channel. See you on the next Amateurish video. Bye, guys.